Welcome, Rose, and so glad you're here, and thank you for taking the time out to join us here at the African Descent Forum studios. What inspired you to establish your company?
Good morning, Milton. It's such a pleasure to speak with you, and thank you very much for having me. Remb Voices is actually my name, Remb, which is my family name that nobody knows, but all of you now know. And Voices is very much about telling it as it is, trying to ensure that not just my own voice, but more importantly, the voice of people who are often unseen and unheard, unrecognized, and not acknowledged are actually having their voices shared more widely.
I'm going to go straight into the first book, Breaking Through the Racist Clouds in 2020. Hey, there it is. Yeah. What was the book about, and what was your experience as a writer? Was that your first book as a writer?
It was the first book as a writer. I have written, I've contributed chapters, particularly around parental involvement in the past. But this is my first actual book that I was the catalyst for this, Milton, really was the murder of George Floyd, the public, cold murder of that man. And it just spoke to me in terms of the rage I felt and the painful visual image that it portrayed. And it made me realize that there were lots, well, I had already realized it, but it sort of brought it home to me that I had to do something to pull together the views, the experiences of a range of people about racism. I'd experienced racism throughout my life. I'd had, somebody spat in my face and called me all sorts and what have you. And then there are the nuances around, the way it's expressed by the more middle class individuals. It's sort of almost polite racism. Whether, racism is racism wherever it comes from. And so I decided,
bias now, don't they?
Well, they can call it what they like, but the experience is actually pretty much it's impactful.
The second book is Women of Courage, Stories and Struggles. Yeah, and you were published that in 2022?
Yes, I did.
So I want to really delve a bit deeper in this, because here you are as a woman interviewing women. How was that? And what was the book about, and how was that for you as a publisher?
It's, I have to share with you, Milton, that I started with 10 people, and they were men and women, as it happens. But the pandemic did its damage, and I ended up with the 4 women whose stories are in this book. And as I looked across at the 4 amazing women, it became very clear to me that the thread which wove its way through their stories and indeed their lives actually symbolized struggle, no doubt about it. But you know what? It actually also affirmed their huge resilience, in the face of all sorts of things. Home, finding a home, developing relationships, losing relationships, losing homes, losing jobs, gaining professional qualifications. But it also symbolized power. A power that those women showed in the face of the struggle, in the face of the challenges, and the way they found that strength inside themselves